Good now. Who's here with me? I see Justin, Sol, Marielle. Good now, love. The bubbles are moving around on me. Anika. Kim. Good now, lovely. Welcome in. Good now, good now. How's everyone feeling? The start of thank you. The start of our weekend. Oops. Wait, that wasn't too loud in your ear. Good now, Leanne. Martine, good now, love. Oh, my super blue. Is this your color, Soul? I can see and I are actually sick. Such a bummer in the summer. It is a bummer in the summer. Good now, Leanne. Awesome. Well, this was for you, Soul, then. Pretty good start so far. Awesome. Good now, Karen Q. Good now. Thank you, love. Appreciate you. Annika, or I never, is it Annika or Anika? I always just say whatever I say, and I don't know if I've ever asked or you just never corrected me. Good now, Indy. But I hope your cold goes like really fast. It doesn't linger too long. Good now, Ellen. Right down the street from me, like 30, 40 minutes, depending on how fast I drive. You really like this blue? I like it too. It's like I don't know, Caribbean. Good now, love. Caribbean-like waters. I'm just giving a couple seconds more. Say whatever you want. You did. I say as long as it's said with love, but it technically is Anika. Thank you. Thank you for that reminder. I like Anika. But definitely always with love. Good now, Jamie. It's like a royal blue. Awesome. Thank you. I'll take it. Maybe I need to get a blue crown. I have a pink crown. I love when the group like loves on each other. Good now, Elena. I'm pointing because the chat is on the side to me, so I'm pointing on that like y'all can see it. I mean, I could share the screen and y'all can see it, but blue is your favorite color. I love it. Mine is like olive green, but I have been drawn a lot to blue lately, which is like throat chakra. Who else has popped in? Good now, Lex. Is anyone just joining us getting started in this book? Well, not getting started. Is anyone just joining this book read? Good now, Lori. Words, they might not always words, so I'm just warning you. Teal or salmon or light green. You like those colors? I tend to like dark, rich colors. If I do, I'm not a huge fan of pastel, except for lavender. Like for some reason, that one I can get with. Maybe a salmon in a pastel. I'm looking at this banner that I have. I'll have to show it to y'all. I love the hearts. I wish I could. I mean, I know these are red and they're cool, but I kind of wish I could change the color if I can even get it to come up. My computer's like, I don't see you. There we go. Deep purple is your color. I love plum. Plum and olive green are my favorite right now. I guess favorite. I can't say favorite because I love so many colors, but I notice when I see something, I gravitate towards a plum purple or an olive green. One of your favorite books too. I've read it 3 times. Oh, awesome. Good. Then you can help us with some insights. Does it feel like you read it for the first time, Anika? Because that's what Hale says. And good now, Maribel. Janice says, I've been trying to find readings on YouTube and Insight, but no luck. I need very specific directions. That is not a problem. If you, well, actually, so what, let's see, what's easier? Here, let me show you the tubular. If you go to my profile link, and I know y'all can't see anything just yet because I haven't opened it, I haven't shared the screen yet. I got my microphone in the way. I need to move that thing. Okay. I'm going to do a couple things actually. I'll pull up my channel, but I'll also pull up my link tree. That way you can, one of your favorites as well. I love that. The book or the colors, Lex? We've gone down a couple of roads. All right. Let me get this. I love that you have been looking though and that you asked for specific directions. I appreciate that. Okay. Here we go. One moment. Here we go, one moment. Okay. Wrong one. Hold on. I need a bigger window so I can change the thing. That's the book we'll be reading in a moment. Okay, so if you go to my profile and go to the About section, you'll see the link and it'll lead you to here. When you get to here, you can actually click on this button here. That's my channel. On my channel, you will see, and I'll move this down, but you will see the playlist of all of them that we've read so far. So if you click this, no worries, Anika. If you click this, you will see all of them in order, and that way you can catch up on that. Does that help? And if I need to go back through it, that's not a problem. Let me know, Janice. And did I miss saying good now to anyone? Yes, I did. Emma matches my dress, or I match Emma's profile picture. Alternatively, if you go to my profile link and click on Let Us Fam Doc, you'll be taken to the document. Not that one. Oh yeah, this is it. But this is the questions. And this is where I put the link to each replay on each chapter. I just did that this morning because I'm like, this might be helpful. So whichever is easiest. I'm a little anal, just a little bit. Okay. Going to give it a try. Would love you to review one more time. Of course, too easy. Okay. So if you go to the About section on here, on my profile here, and then you will see a link in there. It says link.tree basically, or link to, how they have it, linktr.ee. And then you'll see this button with the play, if I can say it, this play button here. And click that and you'll get to my channel and Awakening the Wisdom of the Soul. That's that playlist. And if this doesn't look like a hyperlink, but it is. So if you click this, it'll take you to all the replays. And if you and your computer are still not getting along, feel free to message me. I am happy to send you a direct link to it. I just can't message you as a teacher. You have to message me first. Cool. Let me change this back to the book. All right. Of course. My absolute pleasure and honor always. Good now, Chad. I think I've said good now to everyone here. If I have missed you, please just be like, hey, Nick, I'm here. I'm like, good now. All right, so for anyone who is new here, we are reading the book, The Seat of the Soul, as you can see in the corner here. We are on chapter 6 today. And as I just showed you, you can also catch up on all the replays. I have no idea why chapter 4 shows twice, but whatever. So this book, what I appreciate about it is it just shakes up paradigms that we may or may not realize that we have. So it's going to probably challenge some of your belief systems, some of your beliefs. But that, what I love about that is it gives you the opportunity to reevaluate what you are subscribed to. So I guess the ghost knocked over the anyway, so that is one of the things that I found that I really appreciate about this book. It'll just have you wait, what? So that said, I'm going to pause the musica. I will pull up the book too. Y'all could read with me. I think someone asked for that before. I don't think it's Howard though, at least. I think Howard only stays in his house. I don't know who lives with me. The ghost is like, get to it. I know, right? Like, hurry up, Nick. You take it too long. Okay. Let me grab the book. So, chapter 6 is relatively short, I think. The study guide questions. Okay. The way I said study guide just now just reminded me of the parrot Gideon that I so much love, and I will show it to you if y'all remind me. But it's just so giddy goo. So study guide. They're super invested in the book too, apparently. Oh my goodness. Okay. Good now, Trina. Did I get everyone? And before we start reading, let me grab some water. Giddy goo. Every time I say anywho, I think of that. And just now, he's just a sweet parrot. Anyway, I live vicariously through the owner of the bird because I'm not getting a bird. Here we go. I know it's probably small, so if it ends up just creating a headache, I'll just put me back on here and just read that way. Just let me know. All right, so light. The soul is not physical, yet it is the force field of your being. The higher self is not physical, yet it is the living template of the evolved human, the fully awakened personality. The experience of intuition cannot be explained in terms of the five senses because it is the voice of the non-physical world. Therefore, it is not possible to understand your soul on your higher self or your intuition without coming to terms with the existence of non-physical reality. Knowing in the cognitive sense cannot produce proof of non-physical reality any more than it can produce proof of God. Proof of non-physical reality does not exist in the dimension that the rational mind seeks it. Therefore, when you ask from the perspective of the five sensory personality, does non-physical reality exist? What you're really asking is, if I cannot prove the existence of the non-physical reality, do I decide that it is nonsensical? Do I decide that there is no answer, or do I expand myself to the level at which the answer can be given? I really love that perspective. When a mind asks a question that suggests a different level of truth, no matter what the question, expansion has always been the way of the scientist, the pursuer of truth. At one time in our evolution, for example, the question was asked, are there forms of life that are smaller than the eye can see? From the five sensory perception, the answer is no. Someone did not accept that answer, and the microscope was invented. Then the question, do parts of nature exist that are smaller than what we can see through a microscope? Was asked again and again from the five sensory perception, the answer was no. But we did not stop and instead discovered and developed a rich understanding of atomic and subatomic phenomena. As we created the tools to see, that which was once considered non-existent became existent. But we had to expand first. The challenge And the task for the advanced or expanding mind is to expand to a level at which questions that cannot be answered from within the accepted understanding of truth can be answered. And this is why I like the experiments. This is why I create my challenges. They're not challenges, I create them as experiments. Just to open your mind further, as opposed to like, I'm going to tackle this challenge. It's like, let me see what else is there. Anyway, what is non-physical reality? Non-physical reality is your home. You came from non-physical reality. You will return to non-physical reality, and the larger part of you currently resides in and involves in non-physical reality. The same is true for each of the billions of human beings upon this planet. If you've ever heard someone who is close to death, they usually say, I want to go home. So when he says non-physical reality is your home, that's usually what that person is referring to. Therefore, the majority of your interactions with the other human beings occurs in non-physical reality. For example, when you think loving thoughts of someone who is close to you emotionally, such as a family member, you shift the quality of your consciousness, and this contributes to his or her energy system. Caveat, I have had people ask, how do I change my state of consciousness? How do I raise my level of consciousness? I believe this chapter will give some things to consider in respect to that question. If a daughter who harbors resentment toward her father, for example, evolves into a deeper understanding of her relationship with him, such as an understanding of the karmic role that he has played in activating within her a major lesson of love or responsibility, and if her intention to heal herself and her relationship with her father is deep and clear, do not think, even for an instant, that her father is not aware of this, even if she does not speak to him. He is not aware consciously, but his whole being feels what she is doing. His conscious mind may feel it through sudden moments of sentimentalism, that word, about things that he had not thought about before, or he may suddenly look at a picture of his daughter as a young child and feel a pull in his heart, even though he is not consciously aware of why he is feeling what he is feeling or doing what he is doing. You participate in this form of data bank exchange, so to speak, with all the souls that you are close to, and, to some extent, with all the souls that touch your life. As you shift your data bank content and the information that you send to a soul, it is processed through his or her own system. It is at that level that the cause and effect of your intentions, the way that you choose to shape your energy, influences others. How does this happen? You are a system of light, as are all beings. Notice the capital L. The frequency of your light depends upon your consciousness. When you shift the level of your consciousness, you shift the frequency of your light. If you choose to forgive someone who has wronged you, for example, rather than to hate that person, you shift the frequency of your light. If you choose to feel affection or kinship with a person rather than distance or coldness, you shift the frequency of your light. Emotions are currents of energy with different frequencies. Emotions that we think of as negative, such as hatred, envy, disdain, and fear, have a lower frequency and less energy than emotions that we think of as positive, such as affection, joy, love, and compassion. When you choose to replace a lower frequency current of energy, such as anger, with a higher frequency current, such as forgiveness, you raise the frequency of your light. When you choose to allow higher frequency currents of energy to run through your system, you experience more energy. When a person is despairing, for example, or anxious, he or she feels physically depleted because he or she has merged with an energy current of low frequency. A person in this situation becomes heavy and dull, whereas a joyous person abounds with energy and feels buoyant because he or she is running a higher frequency current of energy through his or her system. Different thoughts create different emotions. Thoughts of vengeance, violence, and greed, or thoughts of using others, for example, create emotions such as anger, hatred, jealousy, and fear. These are low frequency currents of energy, and therefore they lower the frequency of your light or consciousness. Creative or loving or caring thoughts invoke high frequency emotions such as appreciation, forgiveness, and joy, and raise the frequency of your system. If your thoughts are thoughts that draw low frequency energy currents to you, your physical and emotional attitudes will deteriorate and emotional or physical disease will follow, whereas thoughts that draw high frequency energy currents to you create physical and emotional health. It kind of reminds me of the, I forgot the scientist's name, I always do, um, that showed that when you speak to water a certain way, the way the crystals form are different. Like the loving thoughts make the water form beautifully. The not so loving thoughts, they don't form as like beautiful crystals. They're kind of distorted. That's what that reminds me of for some reason. Lower frequency systems pull energy from higher frequency systems. If you are unaware of your emotions and your thoughts, your frequency will be lowered by, you will lose energy to, a system of lower frequency than your own. We say, for example, that a depressed person is draining, or that he or she sucks up energy. A system of sufficiently high frequency will soothe or calm or refresh you because of the effect of the quality of its light upon your system. Such a system is radiant. So if you are vibrating at a higher frequency, it is less, especially if it's a conscious, like you're consciously doing that, you'll be less affected by people who are heavy energy. By choosing your thoughts and by selecting which emotional currents you will release and which you will reinforce, I love that, reinforce or release, you determine the quality of your light. Tesla had invented an electrical field generating healing device. Believe it or not, progressively advanced countries use it. I do believe that. Thank you. Thank you, Soul. You determine the effects that you will have upon others and the nature of the experiences of your life. Light represents consciousness. When we do not understand a thing, we say that we must bring light to it, or bring it to light. Good Lord, I just make up my own thing. If we are confused, we say that our process needs more light. When a sudden idea reorders our thoughts, we say that the light came on. And when a person is fully conscious, we say that he or she is enlightened. When you release a negative thought or a negative feeling, you release lower frequency currents of energy from your system, and this literally allows an increase in the frequency of your consciousness. Thinking of the universe in terms of light, frequencies, and energies of different frequencies, in the terms that have become familiar to us through the study of physical light, it is not merely metaphorical. It is a natural and powerful way to think of the universe because physical light is a reflection of non-physical light. Physical light is not the light of your soul. Physical light travels at a certain velocity. It cannot go faster. The light of your soul is instantaneous. There is no time between a daughter's loving intention toward her father and the soul of her father understanding that intention. Instantaneous, therefore, is very much a part of your life. In non-physical reality, the decisions that you make in terms of how you choose to use your energy have effects that are instantaneous. They are one with who and what you are. Energies that emanate from your soul have instantaneousness to them. Energies that emanate from your personality follow the path of physical light. Fear, for example, is an experience of the personality. The soul can be confused and away from light, but it does not experience fear. If the soul experiences an absence of light from a part of itself, the personality will experience this absence of light as fear. That fear is of the personality, and therefore of space and time. Unconditional love is of the soul, instantaneous, universal, not bound. The documentary What the Bleep Do We Know shows an experiment with water and the energy we send to it changing the molecules. I love that, Jamie. Thank you. Good now, Jeffrey. I said some other people had popped in. Feel free to say good now in the chat if I'd not said good now to you, so I can say good now. Okay. Just as visible light is one portion like an octave in a continuum of energy of graduated frequencies that extends below and above what the eye can see, the continuum of non-physical light extends below and above, so to speak, the frequency range in which the human exists. The human experience is a particular frequency range in the continuum of non physical light, in the same way that visible light is a particular frequency range in the continuum of physical light. Other intelligences. Good now, Pav. Thank you. Oh, good. Good. I'm glad it helps you absorb. I'm the same way. That's why I usually get an Audible and a Kindle at the same time. Good now. Get you. Good now, Nia. Wings. That's the other thing that Gideon says. Okay, other intelligence inhabit other ranges of frequency. These forms of life do not exist elsewhere from us. Just as infrared light, ultraviolet light, microwave light, and many other frequencies and ranges of frequencies coexist with the visible light spectrum, but are invisible to us, the life forms that are characterized by different frequency ranges of non-physical light coexist with us, but are invisible to us. This, of course, reminds me of what I talked about last week, where this lady was saying that people ate a mushroom, and anybody who's had it experienced the same thing of seeing little people. She's like, fairies are real. So I'm like, hi, fairies. Okay. In the place that you now sit exist many different beings or groups of beings, each active and evolving in its own reality and in its own way. These realities commingle with yours in the same way that microwave radiation exists alongside of visible light, but is undetectable to the human eye. Our species is evolving from one frequency range in the spectrum of non-physical light into another, higher range of frequency. This is the evolution of the five-sensory personality into the multisensory personality. The multisensory personality is more radiant and energetic than the five-sensory personality. It is aware of the light of its soul, and it is able to detect and to communicate with forms of life that are invisible to the five-sensory personality. The universe is a hierarchy that has no bottom and no top. Between the levels of the hierarchy, there is an understanding that higher perceptions can be a part of and are encouraged to be a part of the experience of lower plane spirits as they strive to expand their own awareness. Thus, there is always a higher level of assistance. You are involved in this process, although your personality is unaware of this, because it is done at the level of your soul. There is much that the five-sensory personality is unaware of, and much that even a fully empowered multisensory personality will not remember until, at the end of its life, it returns to non-physical reality. You are not aware of the many lifetimes of the past and future personalities of your soul, for example, but the intensity of parts of your being derives directly from these lifetimes, just as do some of your relationships. If an aspect of your being manifests physically, such as the aspect of you as teacher or you as warrior, then there are connected non-physical aspects that are also active and participating in the teaching or the warring dynamic from the non-physical realms of which you are a part and bonded to. The aspect of self that you bring to bear in a physical moment represents a force that is many times more significant and complex. Our non-physical assistance comes from ranges of non-physical light that are higher in frequency than our own. The intelligences that assist and guide us unconsciously in the case of the five-sensory personality and consciously in the case of the multisensory personality are of a higher rank in creation than we, and therefore can provide us with a quality of guidance and assistance that we cannot give to each other. The five-sensory personality associates rank within a hierarchy with a graduated levels of worth, and it associates a lower rank within a hierarchy with less worth, less ability to control others, and more vulnerability. From the point of view of the universe, all the ranks of creation are of equal value. All are precious. When seen through authentically empowered eyes, a being with a higher rank in creation is one that has more ability to see without obstruction, more ability to live in love and wisdom, and more ability and desire to help others evolve into the same love and light. Each human soul has both guides and teachers. I need water. A guide is not a teacher. Guides are what might be thought of as experts in certain fields that are called in for consultation. If you are writing a book, for example, or creating a project, or organizing an event, a guide that has the quality of warmth or creativity or insight that you wish to incorporate into your work is available to you. Teachers operate on a more personal plane of involvement, so to speak, although they are impersonal energies that we personalize, that we feel a personal relationship with. A non physical teacher brings you ever closer to your soul. It draws your attention to the vertical path and to the difference between the vertical path and the horizontal path. I love that. I can't wait to read y'all's messages. The vertical path is the path of awareness. It is the path of consciousness and conscious choice. The person who chooses to advance his or her spiritual growth, to cultivate awareness of his or her higher self, is on a vertical path. The vertical path is the path of clarity. The path for the creation of clarity and the experience of interacting with your non physical teacher are one and the same. The horizontal path is the path that satisfies your personality. A businessman or a businesswoman, for example, who devotes his or her life to the accumulation of money is on a horizontal path. No matter how diverse his or her ventures may become, they are essentially identical. If they make money, they please the personality, and if they lose money, they distress the personality, but they do not serve the higher self. They do not serve his or her spiritual growth. A person that seeks relationships only to gratify his or her own needs, such as his or her own emotional, Lord, or sexual needs, will find that each relationship is essentially identical, that the people in his or her life are replaceable, that experiences with the first and experiences with the second are essentially the same. This is the horizontal path. Each new experience is not really new. It is more of the same thing. To experience relationships of substance, good Lord, and depth requires approaching and entering into relationships with consciousness and concern for the other. That is the vertical path. This does not mean that learning does not occur in all situations, and that when a horizontal path is no longer appropriate to a soul's learning, the soul will not leave it behind. Sooner or later, each soul will turn toward authentic power. Every situation serves this goal, and every soul will reach it. The vertical path begins with the decision to do that consciously. Guides and teachers assist the soul in every phase of its evolution. The number of guides and teachers that soul has depends upon what it seeks to accomplish and its level of awareness. Souls that take upon themselves projects of more magnitude bring to themselves more assistance. Your soul knows its guides and teachers. It drew upon their wisdom and compassion in charting the incarnation that became you, and that part of your soul that is you will be gathered into their waiting arms when the incarnation that is you comes to an end, when you go home. You receive loving guidance and assistance at each moment. At each moment, you are prompted and encouraged to move into light. The decision that you make are yours to make. A non-physical teacher cannot and would not live your life for you. It will assist you through learning experiences of your life. The answers that it can provide you depend upon the questions that you ask. By questioning your own motives, by praying or meditating and remaining open for the answer, or by asking directly, as in the case of a multi-sensory human that has developed this ability. When you ask one set of questions, one set of doors opens before you, and when you ask other questions, other doorways open. In each instance, your teacher or teachers will advise you with impersonal compassion and clarity. It will help you to examine the probable results of each choice that you make. It'll touch your feelings in ways that brings your awareness to areas that need to be healed. It will answer your questions, but you must ask them and, therefore, give direction to your own energy. It will advise you as to which courses will most likely lead to which results, and it will continue to advise you with wisdom and compassion no matter what choices you make. A teacher can neither create nor remove karma for you. Not being, not even non-physical teacher, can assume responsibility for your life, for the way that you choose to use your energy, but a non-physical teacher can help you to understand what your choices and your experiences represent. It can provide you with the knowledge that will allow you to choose responsibly and hopefully choose wisely. Therefore, the ability to draw consciously upon your non-physical guidance and assistance to communicate consciously with a non-physical teacher is a treasure that cannot be described, a treasure beyond words and value. Good now. Every decision you make either moves you towards your personality or towards your earth decision. Or towards your soul. Earth decisions that you make is an answer to the question, how do you choose to learn love? How do you choose to learn authentic empowerment? Through doubt and fear or through wisdom? This is the heart of the Garden of Paradise story. The tree of truth, given unto the entire human species, said, learn. Which way do you wish to learn? This is the ultimate first act of free will. How do you wish to learn? The question continues in every one of your life situations. It is the eternal question. It is the longest running show on Broadway, so to speak. No matter what situation, no matter what moment, the Garden of Eden question continues and continues and continues. Each time the opportunity in every circumstance in miniature, am I reading it right? Miniature is, will you choose the way of doubt and fear, or will you choose the tree of wisdom? The tree of life, of knowledge, of truth, of wisdom is an opportunity, an archetypal question. Adam and Eve, the male and female principles within the Garden of Eden, took the apple symbolically and misused knowledge. Their choice was to misuse knowledge and, therefore, they created shame. That was not part of the human design up to that point. The misuse of knowledge, of truth, of wisdom produced embarrassment and shame. That gave rise to guilt. Guilt gave rise to fear, and so began the evolution of the human species. The decision to take the apple was a decision of the highest order of evolution, an order that cannot be conceived or even grappled with in the same context that we would use to understand a human decision. To speak of decisions in terms of an individual human life or in the terms of a larger body of individual human lives is very different from speaking about how the role of evolution and learning began billions of years ago with the human species. The decision to take the apple in the Garden of Eden story does not refer to one decision that was made by two humans who really existed in such a setting. It was not a decision such as you or I would make in terms of, do I choose this or that? The Garden of Paradise story describes the beginning of the whole experience of Earth and the human species. It refers to the principles of energy that were brought to bear upon larger bodies of group consciousness and that had stress, that had formation energies, creation energies, in their process of forming their own polarities that would become the polarities of human experience. Doubt and fear stood opposing to trust and light, and so they came into being. Now, Bella. Yet, it is not inappropriate to understand the Garden of Eden story in terms of human choices between doubt and fear on the one hand and wisdom on the other, because the choice to learn through wisdom or through doubt and fear is very much part of every single challenge that every single human comes up against within every minute of every day. And this challenge reflects the dynamics that, at a larger level of evolution, were brought to bear upon our evolution. This brings us to the relationship between choice, light, and physical reality. I'll just let y'all marinate on that while I say good now. Good now, Bea. Good now, Christina. Yeah. Interesting. That's an interesting perspective, Christina. Thank you. Good now, Debbie. Good now, Jen. Good now, Mary and Josette. Cat. Good now. Another Mary. We have two Marys. Good now, love. Good now, Tan. Let's see. I had that experience, Soul. Soul says, Jamie, I was so repressed by low frequency negative energy. Even my poor dog didn't want to be around me. Not funny. He laughs and then not laughs. Rife machines use light frequencies to heal the physical body. Cool beans. There are 60 gigahertz energy fields in space that heal, so why do astronauts deteriorate from being in space? I think it's something to do with the space and time continuum not being the same. I don't know. Let me see what. So I've experienced that in the time of my life. It became very clear to me that I needed to do something to get out of that energetic space. Yeah, I did too. I remember it. I was at an event. I think I was even vending at the event. Someone's dog was there, but I was feeling so like I felt like shit that day. I was like, I don't know. It was probably during luteal phase, and I just didn't know it. But dogs normally will come up to me. That dog was like, yeah, I'm good. You got it. You stay over there, chick. Kim says, so I think because humans and all life on Earth evolved in harmony with gravity. That's an interesting. I like that perspective, Kim. So what do y'all think about the chapter? Any other thoughts? Good now, Jess. Or are we still marinate? I know this is not everyday reading, so if you don't have the book already and have read ahead of time, good now, Chelsea. I still love that picture of that puppy. And Cat's cat picture. Any what's the word? You walked into the last minute, so to speak. No worries. You can catch the replay and share your thoughts either on the tube in the comment section, or I do have a group here on Insight Timer, and you can share stuff in there. Thought provoking. Thank you, Nicole. You're welcome, Mary. Jen, good now, beautiful Nicole. Good now, beautiful Jen. Did I miss anyone? Miss Debbie, Teresa, good now, love. I really like the part about fear being an energy of the personality and love being an energy of the infinite soul and light. Yeah, I do too. I also love, which is why I knew I read that sentence wrong, because it was a sentence that stood out to me. You can either, how did he say it? Where's my mouse? There it is. I loved it, and I was like, every decision that you make either moves toward your personality or toward your soul. And I was like, ooh, I like it. Justin says, the part about, did y'all just hear my shoulder? This is the one that was dislocated last year. The part about things existing but not being able to see them, it reminded me of a video of how there was a video that talked about Native American tribes listening to the tree spirits and such, and how people didn't believe this. But in the same video, they showed mushrooms and how these mushrooms were planted in machines today, and were able to operate them life like it was alive and moving. And people are actively experimenting on what their favorite taste was, etc. It was just mesmerizing to learn. Interesting. Indy says it feels good to be reminded of the higher beings who are always supporting and helping us. I agree, Indy. Nia says, when the chapter mentions about replacing a lower frequency emotion with a higher frequency emotion, I understand that with reframing a situation. I can see that too. Yeah. Yeah, because you can be angry at something or feel like you angry or sad or feel victimized, and then you can reframe it and raise the frequency of your thought and state. Hmm. I like it. Yeah. How do I raise my frequency? It's determined by your thoughts, how how you receive and perceive. I appreciate the fact, and like Indy said, um, both five sensory and multi-sensory people have the beings supporting them. It's just that the five sensory don't know it. We know it, and we can use that to our advantage and to the advantage of the collective. Everything on this planet is energy, light frequency, and matter. When these things combine, life comes to life. Love it. Intention really is key to everything, it seems. Yeah, it has some power. That's that, like when people are talking about manifesting, that is really the basis of all of that frequency. And just like Jamie said, everything has frequency, and money is a frequency that's high. It runs away from fear, but it comes to you when there isn't that fear. There's that knowingness. Um, and the same with other things. I am in replenishment this day. Lovely to be here. I'm so glad you're here as well, Jen. I like replenishment. Yes, fill yourself up. Kim says, I love the idea of free will. When it comes to this stuff, we can choose to be in our personality and in our fear based ego, or we can choose to be more connected to universal energy and love. I get stuck when I think that there is something wrong with the personality and that being who we are, quirky and weird, is somehow flawed. Yeah, I don't think that's a flaw at all. I like how he talks about in other parts of the book that, and I think he even kind of alluded to it here, like the parts of you, oh, he did when he was talking about the horizontal. When a horizontal path has done, like, finished serving what it needed to serve. So whatever that soul needed to learn, the horizontal path was what was required to learn that. The vertical path wouldn't have been able to teach that. So, in my view, the way he explained that means that there's no flaw. There's just how you're going to learn certain things. Um, Justin says, but it just reminds us that everything has a place and that communication might be lost because a lot of us have become low frequency or more horizontal thinking. Hmm. Mm-hmm. I'll find it. This does not mean that learning does not occur in all situations, and that when a horizontal path is no longer appropriate to the soul's learning, that soul will not leave it behind. So basically, when it at least how I understand it, when the soul goes back home, all that it learned from that path, it will take with it. I love the breakdown of the vertical thinking versus horizontal thinking. Yeah. Sooner or later, each soul will return toward authentic power. So it'll take those lessons with it into the next incarnation. At least that's how I understood that. So, yeah. I agree, Justin. It's weird out here. Even a lot of older generations is not thinking of lack of better terms, no wisdom being passed. Yeah, that's why we got to do it. We got to pass the wisdom on. It's really eye opening, developing our relationship with higher beings, helping us. It is, Nia, it is. It's pretty exciting, too. Um, it's like, what are my limits? There are none. When he talked about all the levels of hierarchy being equal, it made me think it's the same as saying a 5-year-old starting school is just as valuable as a 21-year-old graduate from university. Absolutely. Everybody, yep, all beings, very valuable. Bea says, like, I feel we're the older generation, and the older generation is the younger generation, if that makes sense. It's switched. I believe the reason that feels that way is because we're not closed off to the idea or to the experience of a multisensory being. We that older generation tends to really stay following that path that they started on, like a religious path, and those other things that are outside of that are dangerous or wrong or whatever. Um, there are some that break away from that, but yeah, so it's the knowing that we get to experience by allowing ourselves to be open to the experience, experiencing our guides and teachers. It does provide more wisdom in a way. Of course, they have the wisdom of lived experience that we have not experienced, but there's other wisdom that we have that we can offer. It's always been interesting to me how woo woo is often disregarded as make believe, while religion is widely accepted. It's the same thing, it's all energy based. Religion just has human experience examples. Yeah. Yep, it is. Indy says we're all going to get there in the end, which is reassuring. Yeah. Yeah. And by we, it's your soul. Like it may not be this lifetime, but at some point your soul will get there, and our choices that we make in this incarnation determines how quickly our soul gets there as well. So if we continue to create karmic debt, it'll take a little bit longer for our soul to get there, but it'll get there. But yeah, it says, because I'm like a super old lady, I give advice and say old stuff. It's like I have to give advice to my mom. Like, ma'am. It happens. It happens. Chelsea say yes. What you saying yes to, Chelsea? Because I've been saying a lot. It happens. There are people younger than me that can teach me stuff. So I feel like in a way, it just depends on what wisdom you're seeking and what questions are being asked and if they are willing to share. I feel like it's there, but they're not always willing to share as well because of the perception behind it or whatever. Let me see. Justin says modern life can do a lot to cut us off from operating at the higher frequencies. It can try to, if you give it permission to. And I definitely understand what you're saying. Kim says, when anyone says to me they don't believe in all that energy nonsense or woo-woo stuff, I think about Wi-Fi and how the heck does Wi-Fi actually work that I can be on a Zoom with someone in New Zealand. Agreed. Religion and woo-woo. Thank you, Chelsea. Right? You don't believe in that, but you because there's physical, they can see that there's evidence that that's happening, but like you can't see just like he said, you can't see the microwave waves. You can see the light that comes on in the microwave, but you can't see the actual waves. They coexist though. Nia says, I hear you, Bella. Something I keep in mind with that is we are living this particular incarnation for the first time, and there is an ebb and flow of student and teacher, and then going from teacher to student. I can try to, I love that reframing, Nicole. Good point, Nia. That is a good point. Like, there are some old souls on this planet, and they are younger than me, and they can teach me stuff that I would probably not learn until the next incarnation, but they've incarnated, and I think that is so cool. Some of the wisest things have come from kids, especially ones with cancer. I don't know what that's about, but they just their perspective on life is like something of someone who has lived millions of lives or lived until they're really, really of age, like hundreds or something, and they're only 10 or 12 years old. Justin says, but definitely like to meet higher beings. I don't know about trying DMT though. As long as you're working for the government, you would be advised probably not to. Kim says, like, can you see the database? I just blipped over to my colleague by airdrop. I know, right? I know. Airdrop. I know. I love it, Kim. Nia says, Justin, it is possible to meet higher beings through dreams. Ooh. Speaking of which, I'm going to put Nia on blast. Nia will be a guest speaker one of these days here on IT talking about dreams because she studies that. And y'all have heard me say I have a sister who studies dreams. This is Nia. So at some point she will be here. Y'all will know ahead of time. And yeah, get your questions ready. I will probably ask for questions ahead of time if possible, as much as possible, just so she can be prepared. But yeah, I know I am one. Bea says, I know I'm one. It's no way I know half of the things in this short lifetime. Yep, Nia, the higher beings. Yeah. Jamie says, Bea, recently I noticed I haven't been called Miss in a while. It has officially moved to ma'am. I would never do it, just joking. I know, Justin. Jamie. Indy says, meditation is also a way to connect higher beings too. Shyly waves. Hello, everyone. Love you, Nia. When does Miss become ma'am? I have no idea. I need more dreams in. Yes, you're having them. You're just not recalling them. So, awesome. Shall we go through the study guide? And for anyone who's new here, the study guide has questions that require deep thinking, introspective stuff. So if an answer comes to you while I'm going through this, great. Feel free to share, but don't try to force an answer. Just hear it, and allow to come as it comes. There's no rush. I'm not expecting you to answer all the things. Bea says, yes, it's to the point to where I would rather dream than kind of be awake. Not really so much, but my dreams are so awesome. James says, Indy, when our laugh lines become more defined. That's when it becomes ma'am. I love it. All right, let's go through. I'll share the study guide questions. Get you. All right, we're on chapter 6. Let me get to the study guide itself. And once today's replay is done, I'll add the link. So here are the questions to consider for chapter 6. Is this big enough? What does it look like on the screen? I can make it a little bit bigger. And I can collapse the sidebar. Is that better? Excellent. All right. Am I on the dock? Okay. Ask yourself questions that increase your awareness of different experiences in your body and the consequences of acting on them. The energy of fear is painful in your body. This is the experience of lower frequency currents of energy. Acting on them creates destructive consequences. The energy of love feels wonderful in your body. This is the experience of higher frequency currents of energy. Acting on them creates constructive consequences. So the questions: does your body feel good or painful when you are angry or jealous or vengeful? What kinds of consequences have you created by acting on these emotions? Does your body feel good or painful when you are grateful, appreciative, or content? What kinds of consequences have you created by acting on these emotions? And what kinds of consequences do you prefer? If anyone has something that comes to mind for them, feel free to share. We've all been there. Angry. Well, I'm not going to say all. I'm not going to speak for everybody. I've experienced anger and jealousy. I've never been really vengeful because I'm allergic to karma. I don't like to dish what I can't take, pretty much. Grateful, appreciative. Like this, I know that feels like so light. It feels like I could just do anything. I feel very invincible and held when I'm in gratitude and appreciation. Indy says, love that. So if you're really sullen and never smile, it could be it could be in your 90s. Indy, we're not subscribing to that. Justin says, the rate times I have dreams, I'm always in the middle, and then it slowly feels like dropping down to lower levels of that dream. Then it becomes a nightmare. Also, don't tell the things in your dream that your dream, they'll all look at you. Not joking. Gosh darn autocorrect. I don't even know where rare was supposed to be. I missed it. Good now, Shawnee. Good now, Sarah. And Mandy Grace. Anyone else pop in? Good now, beloveds. Good now, Roseanne. So those are those questions. And the exercise that you can do, this is a short one. The exercises to consider. Every emotion is a message. So if you're studying with someone, which we are all studying here together, read this exercise to your partner or partners. If you are studying alone, read this exercise and then go through it as well as you can. You may be surprised by how much and how accurately you remember it. So recall a time when you felt a strong emotion such as anger, jealousy, or resentment, and close your eyes and go back to that time. I'm gonna invite y'all to do that. Close your eyes and go back to that time. Oh, the rare times. Got it. So think of a time that you felt a strong emotion, such as anger, jealousy, or resentment. Take a few minutes to feel what that emotion felt like then and still feels like now in your body. Every morning, Gloria says, every morning I say out loud, I love you to myself. Starts the day with a great feeling. I bet. Recall the thoughts that you were having when you experienced this emotion. For example, if you were angry, were you blaming yourself or someone else or a situation? And how did you behave? Recall what you said when you experienced that emotion. For example, if you were resentful, did you say something hurtful? What would you have done differently? And what can you learn about yourself from this experience now that you're able to learn at that time? Now that you were not able to learn at that time. Maya Angelou says, when you know better, you do better. Peace, fine friends, from Robin. Good now, love. You would hush. Sometimes a hush is the best thing, and sometimes it's not. Sometimes just stepping away, regrouping, and then re-engaging is the best thing. Yeah. However, I'm not going to say don't because I'm not the boss of you. It is advisable if you walk away to regroup that somehow you still release whatever that was. Whether it's with that person or on your own, don't hold on to it. It's advisable not to hold on to it if you don't want to create physical or emotional pain. But at times I do feel I need to speak because stop the madness. And remember, as you say that, and caveat to anyone who's new to my lives, Spirit, I will read something and Spirit will give me something to say. It may or may not apply to you, but your comment created this, whatever's about to come out. So what came to mind as I was reading Bea's comment, it's like stop the madness. It's whose definition of madness? Who defines that? So as you're engaging with other beings, there's your idea of madness and there's idea of like this is fine. What are you talking about? So that's where communication is huge, and the way it's communicated is huge. So when you feel like there is something to speak up about, there are questions to ask yourself so that the conversation can be productive between the parties. And one of those questions, and I don't remember where I got this from, but is it necessary? What is the other ones? Is it kind when you choose to speak up about it? Because sometimes we think something is necessary to have, but what am I trying to gain from this conversation? Am I just trying to express my feelings about something in hopes that, or am I trying to reconcile something with the relationship? So those are all things that can be one of it too. What consequences do I prefer? So all of those things are things that you can consider before engaging into difficult conversations. I will be doing a live on difficult conversations, having them. Right, like it's really no right or wrong. I can't explain the in depth, but it's like who says what's right and what's wrong. Yeah, and that's where in a relationship, y'all may, was that? Nia probably. Agree to disagree. Sometimes you have to agree, and don't have to. Sometimes you may choose together to agree to disagree. Like, I just don't see it that way. And I just don't see it that way either. So, well, we're going to keep our own perspective for now, and we're just going to agree to disagree. I don't love you any less just because you have a different perspective of this than I do. And then as you both evolve, you probably will eventually get to the same perspective, maybe. So, yeah, absolutely, Bea. Here are some helpful thoughts. My emotions come from my energy processing system, not from my interactions with people or things. I did a track kind of on this about anger. I don't know if I articulated it as good as he is right here, but where was it? I don't know if I have it on here. No, probably not. Okay, but yeah, I did a track about anger because sometimes I have clients ask me like, what do I do? And my invitation for any emotion is really asking yourself, where is this coming from for real, for real? Am I really angry at that, or am I angry at the fact that I kind of let someone overstep my boundaries? Am I really angry at that, or blah, blah, blah? So, for my interactions with people or things, each emotion is a message for me. It is a message from my soul. I ignore these messages when I act them out by blaming myself, others, or the universe. If I do not accept these messages, they come back until I do. Nia says, I really enjoy these study guides. Thank you. You're so welcome. Kim says, I remember something about, is it true? Is it necessary? Is it kind? Does it improve upon the silence? Is this the right time? Maybe from Quaker or something about a three-path something rather. I'll have to research it. Thank you. I love how those ended up into a rhyme though. Is it true? Is it necessary? Is it kind? Does it improve upon the silence? Is this the right time? And that is another thing too, the timing of it. Like if that person is not in a place to receive, it would just make things harder when it is time to have that conversation, because they will likely bring themselves back to the moment that they're in, not ready to receive, and it being pushed on them, and it will be harder. I'm feeling fine. I'm a vibe. Yes. Yes, I'm a freak. I'm a vibe. I'm flying high. You're a freak. You're a vibe. Let us all fly high. Kim, that's from the Sufi tradition and the poet Rumi. I have that hung on my wall. I love that, Nia. There's a time and place for everything. Yeah. Yep. Thank you, Nia, for that. I don't know if I said, is it Sufi? If I said Sufi correctly. So, exercise, your spiritual tutor. Imagine that your emotions are being sent to you by your spiritual tutor. Those that come with painful physical sensations are showing up with showing you what lower frequency currents of light feel like in your body, so that you can avoid creating destructive consequences for yourself by acting on them. Those that come with good feeling physical sensations are showing you what higher frequency currents feel like of light feel like in your body, so that you can create constructive consequences for yourself by acting on them. Practice listening to your spiritual tutor throughout the day. Write what you discover, and you can share. Feel free to share. It was something in here. I can't remember what, but that exercise reminds me of something else that was mentioned in one of the previous chapters. But yeah, that's the study guide in the back of the book. So if anyone has the book, you have the study guide. Well, it has to be the something edition. 25th anniversary edition with study guide. Oh, let me pull this down. Oh, same as the picture. Yeah, 21st anniversary edition with a study guide. He also has a an online version of the study guide, I think, but I figured it'd be more fun to go through it this way with y'all. Any last thoughts, questions, comments, excitements? Let me say good now to folks I have not said good now to. Good now, Denise. And Kate with this beautiful butterfly. Leanne, I think I did say good now, but if not, good now. Good now, Sonia. I agree, Bea. So good. It's good. I know, right? Good now, Danette. Good now, Vanessa. Thank you, Nicole. This was marvelous. You're so welcome. My absolute pleasure and honor, always. Good to find you. Like, I'm glad you did. I'm glad it was good. This is a good book. It's definitely a good book. This is only my second time through with you all. I guess you could use the letting go practice, yes, to shift the painful feelings when they come so you don't act on them. Yes, Indy, there are things, like when he talked about emotions having frequencies, I thought about the letting go book. So I think it was perfect. Spirit, that's why I said, like I told Justin last week, I don't know what the next book will be because it'll be led by Spirit, and Spirit definitely led this order. Kim, thank you. How marvelous are you? Thank you, thank you. Speaking of Kim, and I think Sarah's in here, these are IT teachers, y'all. So if you're not already hanging out with them, please check them out. Kim has a live coming up in a couple of days. Thank you for your generous time and insights, Nicole. You're so welcome. Andy says she's really enjoying this book. Thank you. You're so welcome. That is you. Yes, ma'am. And I know Sarah was in here. I feel like, Vanessa, are you a teacher here on IT? For some reason, I feel like you are. Good now, V. Justin says, gratitude as always. Really appreciate it. Reading along helped me understand a lot more. Good. This is a really good book. Gotta bounce though. I hope everyone has a radiant day filled with abundance. Thank you. Received and reciprocated, young man. Thank you, Justin. I appreciate the donation. Thank you, thank you. Great conversation. Just listening today, taking the kiddos to car shows today. Ooh, can you send me pictures of the cars? B. I gotta get my Beetle running so I can take it to a car show. I took it once to a car show. Get some drawing done today, Justin. Yes. Right? I bet you say, right? Yeah, man. I love it. I love vintage vehicles. I hope everyone... Ooh, I like them too. I will get a convertible Porsche. The goal is by the time I'm 50. And I want an older version. I don't want the new electrical one. You gonna nap before I teach this afternoon? How do I not have this afternoon? Oh, is your afternoon on IT or no? Cause I'm vintage. I love it. You know, I am into vintage anything. Me too, Bea. Nope for hospital. Okay, yes. Take a nap. Get your energy ready and recharged. I love you, Kim. Good now, Liz. I don't know if I said good now to you before. Yes. Andy, absolutely. I use the breath to collect the energy and blow it out and away. Deep, deep breath in through the nose, out through the mouth, like I'm blowing through a straw. Use it for physical pain. Go gorgeous. It's good. It's gorgeous out, outgoing. You're going to take a nap on the deck. I love that. If I do that, I will wake up with mosquito bites all over me. I need to come to Vermont. So gorgeous out. I'm going to make my way up to Vermont. What's on my way so I can just visit people on the way up? That would be so cool. I would like to take a week and just drive up the East Coast. Good now, Sonia. Good now, Nicole and all. Nice to join you. I'll bet briefly. No worries. Nice that you were able to join. I'll bet briefly. New York and Boston. Wow, you're above New York and Boston. I knew that but didn't know that. That's cool. Good now, April. Looking like a goddess. Oh, thank you. Concord, New Hampshire. Oh my goodness. I feel like it just would be nice. As long as I don't have to leave out of my house in the winter time, I think I'd be good. Oh, thank you, Bea. I have moments where things like to cooperate. Well, all right, beloveds. I am so thrilled to have had this beautiful time with you. I'm going to prepare myself for my call with my retreat guests for the sleep retreat. I need to redo the assessment. I started it and I was like, I wanted to ask different questions. Can we see Gideon? Yes, there is time for Gideon. Let me find Gideon for you. Gigoo. In case anyone's like, what is this chick talking about? It'll be easier for me to find it in our message, Nia. Because it's one that I had already chosen. Okay, hold on. Let me pause it before we start. Pause. Okay. 1 second, I'm coming. Why is that what it's copying? That's not what I meant to copy. There we go. If I can get it to come up. It wants me to log in. What do I need to log in for? All right, taking too long. Next. I'll try something else. You entered an old password. Yeah, because I don't log into Facebook. Okay. Is it this one? Yes. All right. This is Gideon. Give me one moment. Freaking adorable bird. Hopefully y'all be able to hear this.
Hi. What are you doing?
Hold on. Okay.
Hi. Hi. What are you doing? Cleaning dishes.
Oops,
as
sorry.
per usual. Kitty goop, kitty goop, kitty goop, kitty goop. Ba, 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 ba. Ba, 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 ba. That was cute. Kitty goop, kitty goop, kitty goop. Yeah. Ba, 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 ba. There we go. And where's the wings? Wings. There it is. Bop, 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 bop. Yep, you got it. Wing. Wing. You just keep skipping. You're skipping over the rest of the song today. What are you doing? I am still cleaning. You're asking me a lot of questions today. We're stuck. Hi.
That is Gideon. He is so adorable. And I just love that woman because she rescues birds. You couldn't hear it? Listening while I make breakfast. I love that, Lee. Were y'all able to hear it? Or is that just Indy? Indy, I can, if you have access to the lettuce dock, I can add them to the lettuce dock. Were y'all able to hear it? Because I may not have had the sound go. You didn't hear it? Aw. Okay, hold on. Let me... Because it's just too cute. He's so cute. Still nothing. I'll have to play with that to make the sound. I've done it before. Like, I even got in trouble with YT for showing a video on Free Will Friday. So I gotta remember how I did that. I don't do it often enough, clearly. So, all right. Y'all know how to get to the doc, the Lettuce Fam doc. Go to my profile. It's the second link. You'll see it. It's the same place where the study questions are. I will put videos of Gideon there because he's just the sweetest bird. And videos of Augie because she's also the sweetest bird because she sings bacon pancakes. Thank you for trying. You're so welcome. It can be. And it the unfortunate thing is it doesn't like I can't tell if it's working without y'all's input, and so I'm like troubleshooting through. And if that's annoying to some, I'm probably gonna play with it once y'all hang up. But actually, I'll still play with it. So what I'm gonna do now is officially end this. And if you feel like hanging out with me, continued hanging out with me. You fell asleep at and woke up to the precious parrot. I want one. I know, isn't he? I'm going to officially end the session, and I'm probably going to play with this again because I want to get it to work as soon as I can figure out. My hands clearly blend in with the background, celebrating you all for continuing to show up for you, doing this work, because in so doing, you are showing up for the world, and I could ask for nothing more. Thank you, thank you, thank you for helping me raise the collective consciousness. Let us all go be contagious with our inner peace. Ripple it out into the world. And thank you. Jai Gurudev. May you all create the most amazing now moments until I see you next time, making every moment count, because that is all we have is this now moment. Ciao for now. Mwah.